Welcome to Bitter Coffee. I'm Kelly Coffee.
And I'm Margo Batesy.
Margo, good morning. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I am fantastic. I see that you are no longer in the bunker.
No, I moved up to my kitchen.
It's pretty great. Look at that view outside.
I know. I live in a snow globe. It's slightly snowing here in Jericho. The view behind me is nice, but the view I have is even more gorgeous. So, I live on the edge of a creek, so it's always beautiful down there.
You do. Mm-hmm. You had sent me a pic on your phone last week.
Yes.
From your phone, rather. And it was like Wild Kingdom once again in your yard.
I know. Yeah. So it's the turkeys and the deer who come together to our yard every day. And we think we have a male yearling deer. So he's a little guy, and he chases the turkeys just around, and he's so funny and so cute. We call him Hoppy.
Is that the deer in the pic that you sent me that's kind of like looking over his shoulder, like a diva deer, right?
I think so, yeah. But he's always accompanied by his mom. So they come in twos in our yard. Sometimes we have two, sometimes we have four, sometimes we have six. Just sort of depends.
Variables of two, never like an odd number.
Because it seems like we have a bunch of moms with babies. They're not babies anymore. They were born in the spring. They're a yearling. But
there we go.
Anywho.
Well, that's it for Wildlife Chat.
Yes. Thank you for joining us for our Wildlife Chat. You can grab us on all the places you listen to your podcasts.
All of your wildlife podcasts. Wildlife is a hard word to say, isn't it? I'm having a hard time saying that. Well, I'm having a hard time saying anything because as you know, I celebrated a birthday last week.
Right.
And haven't really talked to anyone on the regular.
Right. So you took a week off of work.
I took a week off from work.
Well-deserved vacation, staycation.
If there's one thing that the pandemic has taught me, and it has taught me many things, among them, if you need to take a minute, take a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And if that minute turns into a week, then you need to go and do that. Because I feel pretty great. I feel like the week kind of flew by, but then I also feel like it's just enough time before I get used to the idea of maybe not having to get up really early. So I've been forcing myself last couple of days to wake up early. I can't hear you again. Oh, now I can.
Yeah, for some reason, my internet was unstable for a minute.
Well,
I feel you, internet. I feel you. Very on brand 2020, 2021.
Let's just say like the 20s.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was in Jericho as well.
True, but we do have, utilities and whatnot.
For the most part.
I was saying that I think a week is the right amount for a staycation. I think back in the olden days and maybe in the future days when we actually can travel and go places, I think 2 weeks is the right amount to be away from work.
Yeah.
If you sprinkle a trip in there in the middle. But yeah, staycation a week feels about right.
Yeah. I'm happy that I took the week. And it was a great way to kind of start my birthday week.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I had a great birthday. I kind of enjoyed myself. I went to, and this is a really great idea. And I don't know why everybody doesn't do this moving forward. I know I'm going to. I went to a drive-by surprise party.
Yeah. How did that go? I knew you were going, but I didn't hear details.
Went really well. So everybody kind of lined up. Oh, happy belated birthday to Joni Lennis. So Joni Lennis was celebrating her 70th birthday, and her daughter, Sarah, organized a drive-by surprise party, which is just basically people lining up further down her street. It's a very long street.
Mm-hmm.
And she got her mom outside. So mom goes for walks a couple of times a day. And Sarah was like, hey, let's go for a walk. And then when she came out into the driveway, that's when
everyone started coming by.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
So fun.
So there was a lot
Did you guys have like decorations on your cars? And
Michelle got about 4,000 balloons, and it seemed
Excellent.
like that was kind of the theme. Everybody had balloons.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty cool because here's the thing, people waved, they didn't get out of their car. They dropped off balloons and presents, and then they drove away. Like that to me, even outside of the confines of a pandemic, that's a perfect birthday. You wave to people, you get presents, and then they have the rest of the day. That's it. You have the rest of the day. They have the rest of the day. So it was, I think, as organized as it could be. And there was a dancing chicken,
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously.
Right.
What's a birthday parade without a dancing chicken?
Well, I think that's standard for a 70th birthday is a dancing chicken. And there was also a dancing dinosaur. So I was really distracted by the fact that the chicken and the dinosaur were having a dance off kind of across the street from where everybody was lined up. So that was
okay.
Yeah. So, I did that. And then I also, and you know about this, but not a lot of people know this. So I'm just going to throw it out there. I did a juice cleanse.
Let's break this down.
Okay.
So this is when I was informed of said juice cleanse. I said the very words, let's break this down. Talk me through the process that got us to this place. Because it was shocking to do it on your celebratory week off to me. But, talk to us about why that was a good idea.
All right. I think the phrase good idea is a bit of a stretch.
Okay, good. All right.
I think
we're all on the same page.
I think it started out as a great idea in theory, yet in practice, don't know if good and idea are the two words I would put together to describe it. So I did the juice cleanse because I was off for the week. And my theme this year for my birthday was cake and steak. So I had a lot of steak and a lot of cake. And then I figured, well, what better way to kind of just do a reset after my 14th annual 40th birthday. And it just seemed like a great idea. Are you doing the math on that?
Are you 54? I thought you were 53.
I'm 53, but the first one would be my 40th birthday.
Oh, right.
See? It's fine.
Math. It's hard.
No. I mean, hey, you want me to walk through it?
Do your math. No, it's good. I'm glad. It's hard for me.
It's fine. But. So I decided to do the juice cleanse because it seemed like a really great idea. And they sell it pretty well. I went to Tom Girl in Burlington. Shout out to them because the staff is amazing. And everything seemed really pretty and really colorful. And those combinations seem like they'd go well together.
Yeah.
And they did if you're really into like beets and cayenne at the same time.
I like beets roasted under a chicken.
See, I don't like beets.
Huh.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Yeah. But at that point that was juice number 4, or 5, I don't remember. I was already in it. So at this point, what do I have to lose? So I did it anyway.
Okay.
I did feel pretty good, but I realized that the most unappetizing things become very appetizing when you're doing a juice fast or a juice cleanse. Like I wanted to eat everything in my apartment. I'll give you an example. I opened up the cabinet. You're allowed to have things like apples or bananas. Like you could have other raw foods.
Sure.
But you don't really want to push it for a host of reasons. You want to kind of just see how things kind of shake out, so to speak. And at one point, I thought that it would be a great idea just to have a can of chickpeas. It seemed like it was just like right out of the can. Like that's how hungry I was.
But you didn't.
I didn't. No.
Thank goodness for
No.
that.
Yeah.
No one should eat a fresh can of chickpeas.
No. Like there was no cooking process in my mind. It was like, just let me get the can opener and just a couple of spoonfuls. Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I decided against it. And I did note some pros and cons.
Okay.
I think I lost like 3.5, 4 pounds because I just basically peed all day long. That was it.
Sure.
All I did, which was fine. I slept very well. I think because my body was like, can we just have this over and done with? Can we be done with this? So when I woke up the next day, I realized that I would definitely do another cleanse. And I did one the following day, although this was more of like a sandwich cleanse. Just
what's that?
Just eating sandwiches, sandwiches all day long. Just
breakfast sandwich, lunch sandwich, dinner sandwich, snack sandwich. I don't know.
Yeah.
Dessert sandwich. I could do that. I could
just have a sandwich every 2 hours. You can do that. Yeah, absolutely. I would do like maybe like a pizza cleanse. That would be amazing. Just have pizza every 2 hours.
Yeah, that would actually hurt my belly.
Okay.
Yeah, but maybe that might be rough for me, but it would be yummy in the process. But then I'd be like, oh, that was a bad choice.
Yeah. So I'm not going to say that I don't recommend it. What I will say is that it took a lot more self-discipline than I thought I had. So maybe that's why I did it, just to see. I don't know.
I also want to point out that maybe you need to have a separate dwelling from your wife or husband in order to accomplish said thing, because I think you told me that your wife just steer clear. Like she was just... She needed me to just go back to my apartment. Be away. Okay.
And stay there. Because I picked up the juice at like 7:30. I didn't start it until about, I don't know, 8:30, 9 o'clock. But I hadn't eaten anything for those 90 minutes when we were out running errands that morning. So
when you love an errand.
I love an errand when I'm the one who's not driving the car. Because, I get car sick, like pulling out of a driveway.
I know. And
it was a rental car because Michelle's car was at the dealership for some recall thing.
Right.
So it had that new car smell off gassing. So I was a mess. By 10 o'clock, I didn't know if I wanted to cry or sleep. So I did both, just kind of check both of those boxes.
Yeah, you just took a quick shot of a juice and just called it a morning.
That's it. I kind of barreled through a carrot, ginger, something. And then I woke up like 2.5 hours later.
Carrot, ginger, sunrise. I don't know. I want to name the juices. I don't want to drink them. I just want to name them.
They didn't have names. I mean, they had the ingredients, but I think naming them would be really great. That's a really good idea.
Hey, Tom girl, hit me up.
But I spent the week just kind of doing all of those things that you don't have time to do when you're working during the week, or when you do get home from work, you don't want to do them.
Sure. Yeah.
And one of those things was having a fence. Well, it's going to be installed in the spring, but I got everything squared away to have a privacy fence put up between my backyard and the neighbor's backyard. And
this is just going to enhance the oasis that is your backyard with your wading pool and your hammock. I think it's going to be amazing. Because all joking aside, you guys do spend a tremendous amount of time out in your yard. So I think this will just enhance the experience.
Even before last summer, where everybody was just kind of sequestered at home, Michelle and I have always spent a lot of time in the backyard, because I don't necessarily feel like I want to go anywhere ever.
Right.
It's easier to
you have the birds, and I feel like, there's like little wind chimes, and like it's relaxing back there.
There's a ton of plants and flowers, and we do a garden every year, and I get to lay in the hammock and not see anyone. So for me, I mean, that's a summer well spent. So the privacy fence is going up I think sometime in May. And
Okay.
I was kind of reluctant to basically let anyone in the yard or in the house, because I don't think I told you this. There was an incident with the garage door repair guy who came through.
No.
So we had a new garage door installed. And back when the Pigeon family was living upstairs, they complained that the garage door was too loud.
Right.
So
it had an opener. So
right. So we decided to get a quieter garage door, which worked until it didn't work. And it was maybe 3-4 months that we had the new garage door, and it started doing something weird. I don't park in that garage. I park in a little tiny garage that my car barely fits in. So this was pretty much all on Michelle, which is fine.
Okay.
So she had reached out several times to the name of the company escapes me, but I probably wouldn't say it anyway. We'll just call them the garage door people. So she reached out to the garage door people a few times, and they were, yeah, we'll be there tomorrow. And tomorrow would come and go and nothing. So Michelle came home from work one day and she heard something out in the garage and thought maybe it was me. Nope. It was the garage door guy who had just let himself into the garage and started fixing the door, which I think is great, but a little bit of warning when you're going to come into somebody's house is usually warranted.
It's not okay.
No.
Not okay.
So I just stayed in my apartment. I wasn't going to get involved for many, many reasons. And Michelle went outside in the backyard for something, and the same guy who had basically broken into our home was now in the neighbor's yard, but facing our yard, peeing.
What?
Yeah. And he was like, oh, like, I think Michelle went out to like refill the bird feeder or something. And like, there he was. So he had to cut through like the neighbor's yard next door and then kind of go like behind, like to the house behind us. Like, yeah.
Is there an outhouse out there?
No, there's not. There's, there's
I'm just
checking. There's a fresh lawn. So yeah, it was.
What?
Yeah.
Oh,
again,
horrible.
I was really happy that I wasn't a part of that scenario because yeah, it would have probably gone a different direction. I don't think that I would have been as calm as Michelle, who was just basically, what are you doing? And it was just that like, oh, sorry. Like, you know, if you like back in the day when you could kind of like bump into people at a store, like when stores were crowded, and you would just give that obligatory, like, oh, I'm sorry. And then the person would say they were sorry and that was it. Maybe like a hand up, you know?
Right.
That's basically what he did. Oh, sorry. And Michelle went back in the house. I didn't hear about this until like 3 days later.
Well, that's because your wife is brilliant. So she keeps these things close to the vest.
She shuts it down until she needs to share. And it's usually like over breakfast.
Right.
Where it's like, oh,
funny thing happened.
Here's something that happened. Would you like another turkey sausage patty? Yes, I would.
Right.
Because I'm on a sausage cleanse. So
Right.
So since then, I've just been a little bit reluctant to.
I just feel like no one should come to anyone's house ever again. Although we do need people to come fix things, but.
We do, but here's an idea. I'm just going to throw this out there. If you need to use a bathroom, you can ask. Why not?
Throw a mask on.
Yeah, there was no mask either.
Of course not.
Right. So again, it's probably best that I didn't know about this until days and days later. Yeah. But so the fence guy is coming, and I'm happy to report, because I know this is probably the burning question everyone has at this point. The answer is no, he did not urinate in the yard or anybody else's yard for that matter. So that's, things are.
I feel like that's a pretty low bar for all.
Oh, I think your internet went out again. Nope. Now you're frozen. Nope. Hang on a second. Everybody, the Jericho internet has to catch up to the rest of the world. Nope.
Better.
Oh, you're back. Yeah, better. All right. It's fine.
I don't know if the problem with these computers is I can't go directly into my Ethernet. You know what I mean? Like,
I have,
no,
I have
you don't
no,
know
I have no
the
idea.
words I'm speaking.
I don't know. I know ether is something that puts people to sleep in movies and stuff, but that's as far as I go with that.
Okay.
I'm fine, but it sounds very sciencey, and it's okay. I think we're living in an age where a Zoom cutout is kind of expected. I mean, I welcome it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, don't worry about it. We were talking about coming back into the studio a couple of weeks.
We were. We are obviously remote, as we are having internet issues. But,
and I think it's best for now. And you and I have talked about this a little bit, but I want to kind of make it clear because I think people had the impression that I was like, hey, we're going back into the studio, which, yeah, you and I had talked about and realized that for a host of reasons, it's not a wise idea. And as Vermont is kind of having more people vaccinated and things are moving in the right direction, I don't think we're there yet. And I think you and I should really take like a Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie kind of stance. Remember, they said they weren't going to get married until everybody could get married. I think that you and I should go back in the studio when anybody's allowed back in the studio.
I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, no, I think that makes sense. And I do think, Vermont, we're going to get there quickly. I feel like every week or 2 weeks, they're adding folks, new bans, increasing the ability to get vaccinated. So, we're going to get there. We just have to be patient, I think, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. It is
what it is. And I think today we hit the 1 year mark on the first reported case in the U.S.?
Could be.
I think it is.
I know that, so I think most people know that my husband works at the health department, and I know that they stood up the operational component of the health department on February 3rd a year ago. So they were prepared. They were preparing February 3rd. So it's been a long year.
It's been a really, really long year. Mm-hmm. And by no means are we kind of out of the woods yet, but every time I see that a new age group is added, or just yesterday, J&J's 1-dose vaccine is approved. So I look at it as the more vaccines that are available, the more people can get vaccinated quickly. And my guess is by the end of the summer.
Yeah, hopefully.
Maybe feel a little bit normal. And I think it's for me, it's the little things that I really miss doing. I think everybody does. I don't think anybody's immune to this. I just want to go out to dinner.
I know. And, I do too.
It's like, I don't want to take a big trip somewhere. Well, I do, but I kind of miss just those small things that I know I took for granted when we were able to do them. And it doesn't feel like the summer's going to allow for that. Maybe towards the end of the summer, maybe into the fall.
Maybe.
Ask Dan Batesy. There should be a segment on the show. Ask Dan Batesy. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something that's like health related. It could be anything.
He knows a lot.
He seems like the kind of person that if you had like a length of rope, you could just say, hey, how do you tie like I don't know,
for sure,
like a dead sailor's knot, if that's even a thing. I don't think it's a thing. I just made it up. If it is nautical, he would know how to do that.
Yes.
Right?
No, he definitely would. And he's also the kind of guy who, so he's interested in planting fruit trees in our yard. So he's now like done a deep dive into horticulture in Vermont, what the best places, how to do it, where they should be on our property. So this isn't just like a passing fancy. Like he's now like basically become a master gardener.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's just an example, but in general, that's how he gets when he has like a fleeting thought, where I think like, I'd like to eat an apple from a tree in my yard. I'd like it to be red. And like, then I'm moving on to the next, conversation.
Can I reach it from my deck?
Right.
And
and then he's like, well, if we were the Southwest exposure and like all these things and the soil testing, and, what kind of fencing we'll need for, so the deer don't eat them all and blah, 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 and all the things. And yeah. But that's every thought in his head. It must be exhausting. He is also one of those people who only requires about 5 hours of sleep on the regular.
So he's like kind of like Oprah Winfrey.
Yeah.
Kind of, knower of everything, needs minimal sleep, has fruit trees in the backyard. I'm sure Oprah has fruit trees in her backyard.
Oh, she's got like I think her house is fully sustainable with what they grow on the property. I read that somewhere.
Of course it is.
She also lives in Santa Barbara, so I think their growing season's slightly different than, Northwest Vermont. But
what are you guys going to plant?
I asked Dan Batesy, like, I don't know, we need a segment. I think apple and maybe pear trees, I think is what he was saying the last time I talked to him about that. And then we like you and Michelle have a big garden, and we're making plans to increase the size of our garden and kind of keep it, right now it was a little like just, because we need to put up deer fencing and stuff like that, or we would just basically be planting a salad bar every summer. Right. So we're going to make that more like permanent around the raised beds, and we're going to have like little paths between the raised beds, and I'm excited. I think we're going to need a little garden shed.
Ooh.
Like anchor the side of one of them. So yeah. I'll send you pictures of what we're thinking.
Yeah. And do you need a fence guy? I mean, I can offer you a fence guy that I know, speaking from experience, will not urinate in your backyard.
Oh, good. Well, if we need a fence guy, I
probably not off your deck.
Yeah, I think we're going to do like a variety of different fences on our yard. Like, so we'll do that sort of utilitarian fence that needs to happen again, so the animals don't come and just eat all of our harvest. And then I think we're talking about split rail fencing, just a couple of spots. So
no idea what that means.
Really?
Yeah,
I can show you a picture. It's like got like a post and then like just a rail and a rail. What it looks like. Mm-hmm.
I have raspberries in my backyard, not a euphemism, that have that same sort of fencing. Okay. I don't think it provides any containment from.
It's a visual boundary. So we are thinking about putting it on a couple of different spots in our yard. Because our yard is weird. Like it's not like a normal square lot.
Right.
Just a couple of places to kind of just visual. I think it looks cute. So that's why I wanted to do it. But
so is it fair to say that in, 3 years, 4 years, you and I and whoever else would like to join us, because we'll be there. We'll be post-pandemic in a few years. Mm-hmm. We can just reach off of your deck, slice a lime in half, and squeeze it into a margarita.
Probably.
Right? Yeah. Like that's my goal.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if we'll be able to, again, Northwest Vermont. I'm not exactly sure about citrus trees.
Okay.
But we can dream. I don't. Maybe
this is what we have right now.
I know.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I was actually thinking about trying to grow a small lemon tree in the house, because I think the inside would do well for a lemon tree. I've seen like ornamental lemon trees before.
How about a lime tree? For some reason, I'm stuck on the limes. I don't know why.
Well, didn't you have lime in one of your cocktails earlier this week?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I think it was the beet and I don't know.
Lime and
cayenne. And I don't know. It's all.
It's a lot.
It's all really blurry. And
I mean, I love a lime in a summer drink.
Sure.
So,
because you
I can drink right now because I'm 80,000 years old and are on every medication under the sun. But
right. But again, girls got to have dreams.
Exactly. I think eventually I got some good news from my doctor. I think I'm going to be tapering off of a bunch of these medicines in the next week or so. So
fantastic.
I feel good about that.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
So hopefully I'll just got to keep this bionic hip well and healthy. So.
And it feels okay. right? We had a little bit of a scare. I don't know how much you want to get into
we did.
this, but
I just had a small superficial infection. So I was a little nervous, but it's fine. And I'm on medication and taking care of it. So everyone thinks it's fine and gonna heal up just how it should. So
are we old?
we're very old.
We are, right? I mean, I know that I'm at that age where, I don't want people peeing in my yard anymore. You know what I mean?
I think I was at that age at like 20. So
Right.
I don't think, I mean, like as a sophomore in college, I lived in a dorm and it was a co-ed dorm. And at the end of the year, we all got charged some sort of damage fee because a whole bunch of the guys who lived in the dorm always peed in the elevator. And I was outraged by that at the time. But then when we got the bill, I was like, Mom, don't pay that. She was like, I think we have to. So
is it divided among everyone who lived in your dorm?
It was. We all had to pay like $75.
I was going to say, is it $100 or less to cover the cost of elevator cleanup?
It was horrible. Well, because it corroded the elevator. Like it was like serious repair needed to happen.
So who thinks that this is an okay thing? Like we've all been
the idiots who lived above me who also tried to vacuum up a chair with my home vacuum that I lent them. Because of course I was the girl who showed up sophomore year in college when she moved into her suite with her 7 friends with a vacuum so we could just keep things tidy.
Sure. Basics. Basically supplies.
My dad had it from like an old job because my dad worked in construction. So it was like a little bit higher, like heavy duty vacuum kind of thing. And he's like, this will be perfect, blah, blah, blah. Lent it out to the fools who lived above or below us. Came back, didn't work at all. Come to find out, they smashed a chair and were trying to vacuum up the wood. And I was like, hey, fellas, pick that up with your fingers. Like, what are you talking about?
I have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
So, and I'm probably not going to get answers. Did they smash the chair because they wanted to vacuum it up?
Probably not.
Cleanup of the smashed chair, like an afterthought.
I think the cleanup of the smashed chair was oh crap, we smashed a chair maybe 5 days ago. It's still sitting there in the corner.
I see.
Someone's, girlfriend / mom / sister is coming to visit and we look like animals. And so they were trying to like clean up a little bit.
I see. But keep peeing in the elevator. That's
sure. Have at.
Right.
College, dumb. We were all dumb. I don't know, but we are old. Definitely.
We are, right?
We're not that old. I mean, I think we still have a lot of living in us, but we're older.
Yeah. Like I find that I have to, I think I've always done this, but I think even more so now, I'm writing a lot of stuff down. And then when I write it down, half the time I'm like, what the hell was I talking about?
Yeah.
Why would I do that? And I'm also the person, and some people will mock me openly. If I need to remind myself of something, I will stick a Post-it on my phone as opposed to putting a reminder in my phone.
But right, the reminder in your phone, I don't, well, and this means I'm old. I don't always know how to make it like pop up and display on my phone. Cause I think one time I got really angry with all the pop-ups. And so I deactivated that thing. Mm-hmm. And so now it's like, oh wait, I missed that. Like for some reason, and I'm embarrassed to say this aloud, but whatever. I deactivated the notifications of my text messages and I can't figure out how to get them back. So I have to like physically go into my text app to like see if anyone has texted me. Like I don't get a little number on the bubble. So like, yeah. And I've looked, I've tried. I think I've even given it to Grace and she's like, I don't know what you did.
Is it a do not disturb option that's on? No,
I definitely took that off. Yeah. I don't know. But I do know 100% it was in a fit of fury rage of like, these text messages, I get so many. I don't want to see these numbers. And I just started hitting things and
okay. That sounded like an old person voice. Like
it was 100%. Like I should get my cane and like shake it.
Yeah. Hey, you don't have your cane.
No, I bring it with me places. So like I bring it into the office with me. When I had to go to my follow-up at the doctor's, so my doctor's office is within a hospital. I needed to use it because that was a lot of walking. But around the house, I don't need it. In general, around my office, I don't need it. I just have it for when my leg gets kind of tired.
Or when a soft shoe contest breaks out.
When a soft shoe contest breaks out, or if I have to be indignant and like raise it up in the air.
Right.
So,
say like a ball lands on your lawn, I'm keeping it. You need the cane to say, yes. Oh, she's serious.
Yeah. Some of my coworkers were going to buy me like a very fancy cane with like crazy, like, I don't remember if they said it was going to be something like a Batman thing on the top or like some crazy thing. I'm sure they'll be like, Margo, you got the story all wrong. Cause I'm 100, but then they were like, you're walking so well and it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks for delivery. And I was like, yeah, don't waste your money. Cause I won't need it then. I'm thinking probably by next week, I'll be without. I'll be 4 weeks post-op next week. So I should be pretty good. Obviously I'm going to keep it around. It's not horrible. Cause again, my leg is still going to be healing for a long time. So,
right. The healing process takes like a year.
It does take a year. I'm also hoping, so like in 2 weeks, I go back to see the doctor for real. And I think that's when I'll get cleared to actually do real physical therapy, to get a lot stronger. Like I can go to the physical therapist and they can help me work out. So I'm not cleared to do that yet. Now I stand at my counter and move my leg around.
Well, that's, go ahead. Flex hard on that. That's
I know. Because half my exercises are like laying in bed. But I do them because I think they're helping.
Look, and who are you to say this exercise isn't necessary?
Yeah, no. It definitely helps. I do a lot of stretching and stuff like that, which is we all should probably be stretching and doing those things.
Probably.
So,
What's a great idea now that I keep on thinking about the cane in general, and maybe they have these and it's probably a multi-million-dollar idea that I'm just going to throw out there. Wouldn't it be cool if they had canes that played music, like whenever you, right? Wouldn't that be great?
Give me a little ragtime.
Exactly. Or like chase music. You can have
entrance music.
Exactly. Exit music, like
oh right. Like
opening credits.
Give me exit music. And it's like
closing credits, mystery. What's around that corner? And then, you go around the corner with your cane and Man, that's a good idea.
All right. Workshop that. We're going to workshop that on the side, people. We're calling proprietary idea on that one. Intellectual property.
Because I think if there's anything that you and I really kind of vibe on, it's engineering of anything electrical, invention.
100%. We barely can get our phones and computers to work.
You're mad at your phone because now you can't get notifications when you get text messages. So what do you do? I think you just have to keep on checking? That's a lot of work.
Yes.
Oh my God.
It is. And I'm going to say this to you because you probably text me more and I text you more than we text anybody else. But there's definitely times when like if I get busy and like we've been texting back and forth and I forget to check, I'll like miss like 6 of your messages and I'm like, oh, sorry.
I'll usually just, you usually say like, I was napping, which is fine.
Right.
But
which is probably true. But
probably nothing wrong with the nap. I'm pro nap. I'm a nap advocate.
We both are.
I sometimes have the problem where I'll start texting someone. And I did this to you this morning. I was texting you something and then
send it.
I didn't send it. So now I'm thinking,
in your brain, you did.
In my brain, I did. And then when I went to text you later, I saw the bubble thing, or I saw that the text hadn't yet been sent. Yeah. And I was like, so now I'm thinking in my head that if you checked your text messages, you probably thought like, wow, this is a really long text.
I didn't see the
Really?
bubbles, but
Okay.
yeah, I
She
realized I
your
did
time.
that to one of my colleagues on Microsoft Teams. She had sent me a really lovely voicemail, like a morning, like before I left for surgery, like a month and a half ago. And I
No.
went into Teams and was like, your voicemail just made my day. Like, thank you for being such a wonderful colleague. I really appreciate you. Never sent it.
Nothing.
And so I just went back in to send her something else this week because I talk to her in chats a lot with like other people, but it's rare that we chat each other. And then I was like, oh, I missed that opportunity. I mean, like when I talk to her again, I might be like, hey, do you remember weeks ago when you sent that nice voicemail? I appreciated it. But
So you didn't send the like, hey, I didn't hit send on this. And no.
No, because I couldn't remember when it was from.
Do you think that your next interaction with her is going to be met with an icy reception?
Oh, no, I've already had tons of
right?
interactions with her. So, and she's lovely. So it's all good. But I just try to thank people when they do nice things that they don't need to do.
Fair enough.
So.
Did you hear my Alexa in the background?
Oh, do you have to take out your garbage?
No.
Water your plants.
That's at 10 o'clock. I don't know what this one is for.
Maybe you got a delivery. Sometimes she tells you that.
Oh, maybe.
Sometimes that's what
it glows yellow.
Oh, the yellow is for the notification. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not doing anything. Nope.
We didn't say her name. That's really weird.
You know what? Overall, I think that my relationship with Alexa is taking a fairly negative turn.
I was going to say it's been on ice for a while.
And I think, I don't know, maybe it's me, maybe it's her, maybe it's both of us. I don't know. We've been in the house together, well, for a year. And Alexa moved in a year ago, Christmas. Mm-hmm. So, I just said her name. She didn't respond. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think her tone has been a bit distant, if not dismissive. Mm-hmm. And I think that I've matched her tone. So we're not, Alexa and I are not, God damn it. Alexa and I are not in a good place right now.
That's okay.
I don't know.
You know that our Alexa calls Dan Dawn.
Dawn, yeah.
So funny. So I know. So he'll be like, like, Dawn, you have a call. Because sometimes, like, if he has meetings on the weekend or, he has to go someplace on the weekend, we'll set in a reminder. Because he'll always say, like, you guys help me remember. And I'll be like, I can't help you remember anything. So she'll remind us. But now so Mary got an Alexa in Colorado, because obviously she has access to our Amazon account. And so just ordered that bad boy up with permission, but it's all linked to the same account.
Right.
So we'll set a reminder here, or we'll do something here, and then we'll get a text message from her and be like, who's going to get a COVID test?
Oh.
And we're like, Daddy just went to get one, just, because he gets tested every few weeks. So, yeah.
I tried to set up an Alexa in Michelle's apartment, and it kept on, it was syncing up to mine here, even though the Wi-Fi is different. Again, electronics. And I want to make a musical cane. Jesus Christ. It would sync up to my Alexa here in my apartment. And then I realized, well, it's not worth it. So she doesn't have it in her apartment, but every once in a while, because I like to play the news in the morning, they call it a flash briefing. Mm-hmm. And every once in a while, I have it set to like maybe 20 minutes after I wake up, and it will say, Michelle, here's your flash briefing. So yeah. So maybe Alexa just favors Michelle more than me. I mean, I think at this point, 10 years later, I'm kind of used to that. It's fine.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's totally fine. I think that's all I have on my list of topics.
I think this has been a full and rich ride through our brains.
And
Saturday morning.
I do want to say that there are a few people that everybody. I failed to thank everyone last week.
No, that's okay.
And so I I want to thank people this week. We have a few new subscribers to
thank you, everyone.
the podcast. So thanks, new subscribers. We do really appreciate it. I want to thank the Polarity Foundation. Without the charitable donation from the Polarity Foundation, this podcast would not be possible. And there's a couple people that I want to just kind of mention. There's a small little shop on Etsy called Resist Wrists.
Okay.
And it's this woman named Ariel, and she is from the US and her husband is from the UK, and they got married a few days before the lockdown. So he went back to the UK, and I'm sorry, Ariel, if I'm messing up the story, but I'm not very bright. So he went back to the UK for whatever reason for a few days, and then the lockdown happened. So she got married, and then 3 days later, they were on different continents, and she hasn't seen her husband in a year. So she started making these bracelets. This is the woman who made, among others, my Kornacki bracelet that I wear religiously every single day. So if you're looking to buy yourself a little bit of something, check out Resist Wrists on Etsy. And of course, I want to thank Doggy Styles Pet Grooming. And I wonder if Sam made an appointment with them yet. I should circle back with her and find out.
I'm not sure.
She hasn't mentioned it, but she's a busy gal. So Joanne and Emma and Casey and Miranda at Doggy Styles Pet Grooming, and they're located at 925 Roosevelt Highway in Colchester. You can text or call them at 802-654-7387. I think anything that has Poppy's official endorsement is a business that is worth kind of looking into. And I also want to mention our intro and outro music is Strong Spirits by Static in Verona. And we will talk to you guys in a week. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.